Hello, hockey fans, and welcome to Inside the WCHA. I'm Ryan Phelps. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And of course, as we get set for another season next fall, be sure to check out WCHA.tv. Where they come to play, we come to watch. There you can stream any game on any device. Today we'll wrap up our season here in the WCHA with a look back at some of the top moments from each club. We'll run them in alphabetical order, which starts us off down south at Alabama Huntsville. The Chargers' top moment was just a few weeks ago when they won their first ever WCHA playoff game in dramatic fashion, rallying for a 3-2 last-minute victory in Game 2 of the quarterfinals at Northern Michigan. UAH senior and Huntsville native Josh Kestner fittingly scored the winner, snapping a 2-2 tie with just 29 seconds remaining in regulation. Couple notes to cap off the year for the Chargers. Just 4 years removed from a 2-win season, UAH continued their upward trajectory, winning 12 games, their most since the 2009-10 season. UAH treated the home fans this year to wins over nationally ranked Northern Michigan on February 4th and Bowling Green on Feb 23. And Josh Kestner, who helped spur the turnaround of his hometown team, earned second-team All-WCHA honors and tied for the league's overall lead with 24 goals, matching UAH's Division I era record. Our next stop is a mere 4,000 miles away, Alaska Anchorage. We find their top moment in the final weekend of the regular season, when the Seawolves traveled to Fairbanks and swept the rival Nanooks in their own barn. Senior goaltender Olivier Mantha capped his illustrious career with 76 saves, and Nicholas Herb Ekholm scored 3 goals, and UAA wrapped up the season with 5-3 and 3-2 victories. Couple notes: Mantha, the 2017-18 WCHA Outstanding Student Athlete of the Year, departs as UAA's all-time leader in saves, save percentage, and minutes played. He had 19 30-plus save games as a senior, as his 946 stops were one shy of Alaska Anchorage's single-season record. Senior Alec Butcher, an Anchorage native, enjoyed a great stretch run with 8 goals, 4 assists, and 12 points in his final 11 games. And freshman defenseman Eric Sinclair earned WCHA All-Rookie Team honors after pacing his peers with 41 block shots and 2 goals in league games. We head up the road to Fairbanks. The top moment for the Nanooks was when they clinched their 6th straight Alaska Airlines Governor's Cup after winning their first 4 games of the season against rival Alaska Anchorage, including a December 8th and 9th sweep in Anchorage. Colton Leiter scored 4 goals and had 6 points in the 4 wins, 2 in each series. Couple notes: senior defenseman Zach Fry was an All-WCHA first-team selection. Fry led League Blue Liners in nearly every offensive category during league play, while his 11 goals overall tied for the WCHA lead among D-men. WCHA All-Rookie Team selection Steven Jandrick wrapped up his first collegiate season with 23 points. That's 4 goals and 19 assists, and a +9 rating. A little further south in northern Minnesota, we find Bemidji State. The Beavers' top moment was a season-opening weekend featuring a win and tie in a home-and-home series with the eventual national champion Minnesota Duluth. After scoring 4 third-period goals to win 5-2 at home on October 13th, BSU rode a historic night by Michael Bitzer to a scoreless tie October 14th in Duluth. Bitzer, the Beavers' senior goaltender, made a career-high 45 saves and set the all-time WCHA record with his 17th career shutout. A few more Beaver notes: Bitzer wrapped up his illustrious collegiate career with 21 shutouts, the second most in NCAA history, behind only NHL All-Star and U.S. Olympian Ryan Miller. He also owns BSU's record with 3,165 saves, while he is second with 65 wins. Sophomore defenseman Zach Whitecloud, who missed a November series while representing his native Canada at the Karjala Cup, signed an NHL contract with the Vegas Golden Knights after the season. And freshman forward Charlie Combs was second on the team with 13 goals, the most by a BSU rookie since the 09-10 season. Now let's go to Ohio and Bowling Green. The Falcons celebrated New Year's in style, defeating Michigan and Michigan Tech on January 1st and 2nd, respectively, to win the 53rd Great Lakes Invitational, and the first held at the new Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, home of the NHL's Red Wings. BGSU sophomore forward Lucas Craggs was named to the All-Tournament team and earned Most Valuable Player honors with a tourney-best 5 points, with 2 goals and 3 assists. Not only did Bowling Green win its first GLI in 3 tries, it did so by defeating an eventual Frozen Four team in the 6-4 semifinal win over the Wolverines and the eventual WCHA playoff champ in a 4-1 championship game win over the Huskies. Some Falcon notes: Bowling Green finished 23-12-6 for its 4th straight 20-win season, the 3rd longest streak in program history. The Falcons swept Ferris State in the quarterfinals of the WCHA playoffs, winning a league postseason series for an NCAA best 8th straight season. The future is bright for these young Falcons, as sophomore Alec Rawhauser earned WCHA Defenseman of the Year honors and a spot on the All-College Hockey News first team, while 2 WCHA All-Rookie team forwards, Brandon Cruz and Max Johnson, helped BGSU's freshmen rank 5th nationally with 123 combined points. We move to Michigan for our next few stops, starting with Ferris State. Frozen Four participant Michigan was an impressive 13-5-1 at the Yost Ice Arena this season, one of those 5 home losses, and the only one to a non-conference team, came November 3rd when visiting Ferris State rallied to win 3-2 in overtime. Freshman Cole Norris scored in the first period, senior Mitch Maloney tied the game 2-2 in the second, and All-WCHA defenseman Riker Killens won the game with a goal, 2:26 into overtime. Ferris State qualified for its conference playoffs for the 21st consecutive season, making the WCHA tournament after sweeping Lake Superior State in front of a packed house at Avig-Laban Ice Arena on the final weekend of the regular season. Junior goaltender Darren Smith set the school record with 62 saves in a 2-1 overtime loss to Bowling Green in Game 1 of the WCHA quarterfinals. The save total was tied for the 11th most in WCHA history. Maloney's goal at Michigan was one of his 9 in November, which tied for the NCAA lead that month. He set a career high with 15 goals overall. Let's go to Sault Ste. Marie and Lake Superior State. On February 2nd and 3rd, the Lakers accomplished something no Lake State team had done in 8 years: hold a team scoreless for an entire weekend series. Behind the excellent goaltending of junior Nick Kossoff, who had 28 saves on Friday, and freshman Merrick's Mittens' 26 stops on Saturday, the Lakers went into Bemidji and posted back-to-back 2-0 shutouts of the Beavers. Kossoff also had a remarkable performance in an October 20th 3-3 tie at defending national champion Denver, as he made 63 saves, which was the 10th highest single-game total in WCHA history. The Lakers nearly rallied themselves back into the WCHA playoffs with consecutive February road sweeps at Bemidji State and Alaska Anchorage, LSSU's first 4-game road winning streak since 2011. And sophomore forward Max Humitz had his 2nd straight 13-goal season. Now we head to Houghton and Michigan Tech. The Huskies capped an improbable run through the 2018 WCHA postseason tournament with a 2-0 victory at Northern Michigan, hoisting the inaugural Jeff Sauer WCHA Championship trophy behind the stellar goaltending of championship game most outstanding player Packy Munson. Under first-year head coach Joe Shawn, Tech went from 5th seed to back-to-back WCHA playoff champs after road series wins at Bemidji State and top-seeded Minnesota State, capped by a single-game road win over the Wildcats in the All-UP Final. Some more Husky notes: they finished the season 22-17-5 and now have 4 straight 20-win seasons, Tech's longest run since a 4-year streak between 1972 and 76. MTU's senior class, the first Tech group since 1978 to have a winning record all 3 seasons, compiled 97 wins overall, snapped a 34-year NCAA tournament drought by making 3 appearances, won 1 WCHA regular season title, and 2 league playoff crowns. And sophomore defenseman Mitch Ranke, a two-time All-WCHA selection, signed an entry-level contract with the St. Louis Blues after the season. And Pittsburgh Penguins draftee Dane Burks also signed following his senior campaign. Our final two teams finished 1-2 in the regular season, starting in Mankato with Minnesota State. The Mavericks clinched their third McNaughton Cup in the last 4 years, doing so in front of the hometown faithful with a 2-1 win over Bemidji State on February 23rd at the Verizon Center. Minnesota State, which spent much of the season's second half ranked in the top 10 nationally, went 22-5-1 in league play, the most WCHA wins since Wisconsin went 23-5-0 18 years ago. Minnesota State has reached the 20-win plateau in all 6 seasons under head coach Mike Hastings, marking the longest such stretch in the 49-year history of the program. The Mavericks lead the NCAA with 151 wins during the Hastings era, which began on opening night of the 2012-13 season. MSU's senior class departs with 101 victories, 3 McNaughton Cups as WCHA regular season champs, 1 Broadmoor Trophy as WCHA playoff champ, and 2 NCAA tournament appearances. The Mavericks led the league with 9 All-WCHA selections, including Player of the Year and Hobie Baker Award Top 10 finalist C.J. Cease, who signed with the Winnipeg Jets after the season, Rookie of the Year Jake Jaremko, First-Team All-WCHA forward Mark Michaelis, his second straight first-team honor, and Second-Team All-WCHA defenseman Daniel Brickley, who signed with the LA Kings. Our last stop is in Marquette and Northern Michigan. The Wildcats had plenty of fantastic moments during their best season of the decade, but perhaps none better than Troy Logan's overtime winner in Game 3 of the WCHA semifinals. A goal that gave Northern Michigan a series victory over Bowling Green and a spot in the 2018 WCHA championship. Logan's goal came at the 15:53 mark of OT, gave the Wildcats a 3-2 win, sent the Barry Event Center into bedlam, and gave NMU, a team picked to finish 7th in preseason polls, the opportunity to host an all-UP WCHA title game. In his first year as a Division I bench boss, WCHA Coach of the Year Grant Batolny engineered the finest NMU season in over a decade. Not only did the Wildcats enjoy their first 20-win season since the 2009-10 campaign, they tied for 4th nationally with 25 victories, NMU's most since 2001-02. Logan's 23rd goal of the season, the 3rd most in the WCHA, gave the Wildcats their NCAA best 17th home win of the season, as NMU finished 17-5-0 at the Barry Event Center. Logan's, a first-team All-WCHA selection, was one of 6 Wildcats to make All-WCHA teams. Others included Robbie Payne, who tied for the league lead with 24 goals, Adam Rockwood, who led the WCHA with 40 points, and the NCAA with 40 assists, the most by a WCHA skater since the 2011-12 season, and WCHA Goaltender of the Year, Ate Tolvanen, who tied for the WCHA lead with 23 wins, the 5th most in program history. And that's it for us. It was a great year for the WCHA, and our pleasure to join you every week to break down the action. Enjoy the off-season, and remember, when we start up again next fall, to log on to WCHA.tv, where they come to play, we come to watch. There you can stream any game on any device. Thanks again for joining us, folks, and until next season, I'm Ryan Phelps saying so long from St. Paul.